Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of On the Play with Team Inkfinity. We have a couple fun special guests with us today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we have some good back and forth here. But yeah, first we have Brandon. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Brandon? Also known as BSquared, because I'm around, you know.
Daniel, thanks for joining us as well. I'm giving Brandon. There's no rules here. I'm giving Brandon a point for that one. Like, why
not? We're starting early.
Go negative. I was like, you go negative.
You technically can, but yeah. If somebody was going to, it'd be Daniel. So let's see what Daniel has to say here. Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, nice to meet everybody. I'm Daniel. I try to be funny. I'm usually not.
Yeah, that's fair.
We stay nice and quiet to really drive home.
Thanks for joining us.
True.
Mandy?
You can laugh with me, but most people laugh at me. There we go.
That's fair.
Beautiful. Love it.
Mandy?
I'm here. So are you.
Okay. We'll give Mandy a point too. I don't want to just get Brandon an unfair lead here. So Katie, thanks for joining us as well.
An unfair disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, my name's Katie. I am host of the Lorekeepers Inn, and I am so anxious about the questions coming that I could not quip if I even wanted to. So that's all I have.
Okay, I have to say this. I'm not giving Katie a point, not because I don't think it deserves it. No, not because I don't think you deserve it, but we were, getting to know each other a little bit before we started, and I have to say, Katie is by far and away the front runner here, and so she needs just a little bit of a.
I'm gonna choke.
A little bit of a
so
handicap
scary.
To get off here, and so I'm just saying, like that's the vibes I got just from the couple minutes of us, just having a little fun before the show started. So I am a little biased. But yes, the bar is set very high for you too. So where if Daniel says
I'm going to assume the same for me, right? The same reason for me.
Obviously, that's the same reason.
That's what I was about to say. Is if Daniel says something like semi-funny, it's like, oh, that's really funny for Daniel. If Katie says something semi-funny, it's like, well, that's like fine, I guess. And so the bar is unfortunately a little high for you as well. But anyways, this should be a great show. I'm super happy to have everybody here. We have a fantastic crew with us today. So thank you all for joining. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Question 1. What location in the Disney parks would be the best place to play Lorcana? This doesn't have to be technically in like the park itself, I guess, but like, on Disney campus, any of like the hotels or anything like that, just anything around the Disney theme parks is an acceptable answer. And so we will start here. And Brandon, go ahead and kick us off. What's the best place to play Lorcana?
I have the perfect answer.
Okay.
It would have to be on the People Mover, because the People Mover is just like such a nostalgic, chill, like place people go to sit. You've been walking around the parks all day. You're a little tired. Maybe you got a little snacky snack. And I just feel like it would be a vibe to just like sit on the People Mover, go round and round and round the park, just play in Lorcana,
That's a great one. That's a low-key favorite of mine too. And so you're definitely tugging on my heartstrings on that one. So that's a fantastic answer for sure.
No, is this a positive space where we're just supposed to be like, yeah, great? Or is like, do we have to
No,
wait
you can 100%. If you want to renege him, that's totally fine.
It's just like, yeah, no, good answer. I just feel like that's a good way to turn a very relaxing time into a time where you're like, oh, there's wind. But maybe like I feel like that's a time where like this will be so nice, and then like your Rapunzel blows off, you're like, I'm dead. All right. This is actually the most stressful thing I've ever done. But I agree.
What exactly are you supposed to do when you're like going through like the Space Mountain portion of the People Mover? Like it is completely dark in there. You can't see anything.
Vibes.
That's when you're taking time to think. You're thinking about your next play. Like you just a little extra time.
It's fair.
Or if you're Mo, you're putting Dodo in your hand. But,
okay. That's a good one too.
Like I said, usually not funny, but.
All right, Daniel. Let's hear your answer now.
I was like thinking from a very like scientific standpoint. Like in Orlando, it rains a lot, so like I probably want to put it somewhere inside. And it's also usually hot, so like I don't really want to be outside. I feel like a restaurant would be nice, just you get food while you're eating. World of Disney would be cool because you could open packs when you're like playing, which is also kind of fun. But I'm going to take it off the deep end. And by that, I mean, we're going to Typhoon Lagoon in the wave pool. And when you send your characters on a quest, you push them all the way down to the end of the wave pool.
They're gone.
Legitimately go on a physical quest.
I don't know if I should actually give him points for that answer or not, but that is really funny. So yeah, I'll give you a bunch for that one. But yeah, touche. Mandy, I guess over to you. What are your thoughts on the best place to play Lorcana?
I've only been to Disney once this year. So I feel like this is a crime question because
Okay.
I didn't do any research. Maybe that's on me. I'm going to say the space between Disneyland and California Adventure. It's open. It's wide. If you get bored, you can play. You can go either way, and you could shop or not shop. And
You're just readying yourself for the next adventure. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's called the Esplanade. Is it called the Esplanade?
sounds like whatever Katie just said. That's where I think you should play Lorcana.
Yeah, that sounds like if someone's like, "Do you want to play in the Esplanade?" Yeah,
I'd be like, "Oh my god,
let us.
Do you want to what?
Oh, downtown. I mean, I was imagining like downtown Disney, but you're like very specifically like the very small point, like directly in between the parks. I mean, I like the.
Can you share the latitude and longitude on that one, please? Just trying to figure out where.
Is that not where everybody like enters the parks? Like, aren't there like
Yes.
lines of people and like
No.
trying to walk past you and stuff?
It's
Oh,
so
that is a
hustle
good
and
point.
bustle.
That is a good point.
No, don't agree with him. You're gonna get hyped. What are you guys doing out here? You're gonna say Lorcana. You never heard of it? Get on the whatever people mover. I don't know.
It sounds like a very good spot to like trade. Like a bunch of people walking by.
Yeah, that's fair.
See?
Yeah.
Some
I
light
can see that.
trafficking.
Okay, Katie, wrap us up here. What's the best place to
So-
play Lorcana?
I was gonna get pretentious and be like, well, in Tokyo, but I'm not gonna do that. I won't take it that direction. But I did actually think, honestly, I think the best place is you're in Magic Kingdom. You get on a little raft and you're on Tom Sawyer's Island. You're gonna go to the little shack where they used to sell food. They don't anymore. They just have 2 vending machines, but they have like a covered patio and a table. And Big Thunder Mountain's right there, and the Haunted Mansion. And you can hear things. You can even see parades in the distance. And there's tables, and no one's there because people are like, I want to ride rides, and I'm like, I want to sit at a table. And it's really nice. You feel like you're lost in time. Now, will they tear it down? They're thinking about it. They are threatening imminently to just absolutely decimate Tom Sawyer's Island because everyone agrees it's not fun. But I think it's lovely. It's even lovely if you don't have Lorcana. You can just take in the day, and I'm doing it there.
The specificity on that was just like next level for sure.
Yeah, yeah. The tables, they're great.
And I will
Imagine it
say,
right now.
you said it was pretentious. I was very vague in the Disney parks. I did not say Disney World. I did not say Disney Orlando. And so I was waiting for somebody to come up with some crazy, like Tokyo or Paris or some other answer and, like really throw a curveball there. And so
I took a curveball and then I put it down and then I put the straight ball. I threw a straight ball.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I think all very fantastic there for sure. So, any final thoughts on where we go for the park play?
No matter when you go, they're only going to have Inkland packs for some reason. So that's the downside. Like we just have Inkland. I'm sorry. That's all we have.
So
here.
we're playing Inkland's Pack Rush Lorcana, I guess is what you're saying.
If you show up and that's Lorcana, that's all they got. It's just they're like
until the end of time.
Yeah. We bought so much Inklands.
That's true. Okay, well, quick wrap up here. After round 1, we've got Brandon at 12 points with the fantastic people mover answer, tugging on my heartstrings. Daniel, a very funny answer, but like, how practical are we actually being here? I mean, not super practical, so is what it is.
Have you tried it? Don't dodge it until you try it. Okay, double sleeve, keep your cards dry.
I think we're quadruple sleeving at that point.
Yeah.
But Daniel at 8 points, Mandy at 8 points, and Katie at 13 points. So a little bit of a disparity here, but I have no expectations that it stays this way. I fully expect Daniel and Mandy to make a comeback
Because you control
here.
the points.
Do you want me to? Are you complaining? I can send you negative. We already had this discussion.
Yeah.
Take the points away.
Wait, can you lose points? What
Yeah,
happened? Like,
you know
because
what?
oh gosh.
Just there
okay.
goes a point. Why not? Let's give away the points.
right,
Daniel's
I'm
in
gonna sit
last
up
place
straight.
with 7 points.
You're doing a really good job. You're a really good host. Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, let's move on to question number 2. So, what song card matches the epic vibes from the movie? So we obviously have a lot of epic song cards in the game. There's a lot of epic Disney songs, but which of those have the same, feel that you get from the movies in the game? This time we'll get to start with Daniel. He's in last place, so he needs the quick start here. Daniel,
I don't have to keep reminding everybody.
Are we tied?
No, he lost a point. No, you've got 8 points.
He got a little too big for his britches.
I'm giving Mandy a point for laughing at Daniel for being in last. That's hilarious.
I tell you, I did not lose it. I know exactly where it went, and I know who took it from me, but I can't do anything about it. Okay, so this song is not a song that I actually like, the card that I don't really play that often, but holds a special place in my heart. Strength of a Raging Fire. During my wedding, like we literally had everybody like karaoke that song. And I feel like the art on that song is very, very like much in capturing the energy that song brings to the room when it's played on a radio or your phone, because nobody listens to a radio. But I'm gonna go with Strength of a Raging Fire. Final answer. I don't know why it's inkable, but I'm very happy that it is.
That's a good one. I honestly wasn't top of my mind, but I do like the answer. Okay, Mandy, what?
Be prepared.
Okay,
that was quite
that's
the
just
delivery.
like just straight up. Okay,
you have to sing it. You have to sing it though. You can't just say be prepared.
I'm not Baker.
I've been practicing. But
I don't want to steal his thing. That's his thing, and I'm not as good at it as he is. So I'm just gonna let him, because he's got the tone, the evilness. He's a villain. Scar is a villain. I feel like the art of the card, the effect of the card, and if you ever watch the song, you're in it, You're like, they're about to be prepared, this whole lion pack, herd, whatever, pride. They're out. So it's be prepared.
that's fair. I mean, I expected that to be an answer for sure. So you beat everybody. You beat Brandon and Katie to it. So
I was gonna sing it, but I don't know.
Katie, don't make me sing, okay?
I know. I was kind of bully. I like the peer pressure. Sing.
Katie, over to you.
I wrote be prepared, but I wrote a second because I did get so nervous. I was so nervous. I was like, I'm going to take every question as serious as possible. And be prepared, cross that out. But the one I wrote underneath it is World's Greatest Criminal Mind, because I love that this little weenie of a card, it's weenie, it's inkable, but can take down the biggest problems in the game. Shark, out of here. Peace, space art, get out. The Chernabog, who? Get out. So I just think it's like these little mouse rat boy in this tiny little song just doing the most evil. I mean, that is the World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Cinderella can do it on turn 2 if she needs to for some reason. So it is beautifully efficient and tiny and perfect.
That's a deep cut answer. I love it.
Wait,
okay.
Real talk. What is possible to be World's Greatest Criminal Mind on turn 2?
Nothing. But I mean, what if we find it's whatever? Life is hard. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm just saying she could. She won't, but she could.
She could technically still sing it, right? Even if she doesn't have something to target.
Yeah. What if we had a flute down on 2, Daniel? And we just wanted to get a lore from a flute, so we're singing it.
I can't think about flutes without getting emotional. Gone too soon from the meta. Gone too soon.
Okay, Brandon.
Gone.
I'm gonna have to embrace my Ice Queen and say, "Let it go." I feel like you just like the card is so thematic. You play the card, you point it at that whatever is on the other side of your opponent's on your opponent's side of the board that they love so much, and just say, "I'm sorry, man, but you got to learn to let it go. It's gone. The inkwell, you'll never see it again."
Love it. Yeah,
you'll never see him cry.
You'll never see him cry.
That's a great one. Yeah, I mean, I think all great answers there.
But it's only gone forever if you're not playing against someone who's playing Ink Geyser.
Who plays Ink Geyser?
Yeah, what kind of crazy
people play Ink Geyser around here? Okay,
Or Mufasa.
Certainly not me.
What insane person, Mandy, would play Ink Geyser? Yeah, not that was brought up in the last episode. either.
Or convince
but
other people
you
to
know,
play Inkgeyser, you know? Like,
Who would call it squirt spurt? Like that's the crazy thing. It's like who would do that? Like I don't know.
who would say such a thing, especially on a live broadcast?
I don't know.
Who knows how many people?
I know it really sticks in the mind too. It's kind of like a nightmare. Anyway,
Daniel, you're looking a little lonely down there. I'm going to give you one shot here to just get some bonus points. So
This is my normal look, but thank you.
give me a good strong thought here to just get yourself back in the game because I'm just feeling generous.
A good strong thought.
Yeah.
Good songs should be uninkable, and bad songs should be inkable. It's a pretty strong thought.
That was, I mean, I want to take points away from that, but then I just feel like I'm
you
being
laid it up,
cruel.
and then
Then I just feel like I'm being
Smacked
super
it.
cruel. So
Daniel
he's already
killed
far
the
enough
assignment.
behind. We don't need to make it worse at this point.
I'm so
I guess.
bitter about the wave pool situation. Okay, I thought that was very good, and I got no point for the creativity.
Daniel, you got to let it go, brother.
You did
gotta
get
let it go.
points.
we all thought about the
The
feeling
storm
of
is
just
raging
the,
on.
like wet cardboard
Okay,
in
I'll
your
give you
hand.
one for that one.
Okay, that was good. That was good.
That was good.
He saved himself.
A little bit.
Do we need Mo people to play Inkgeyser? Is that what we're saying? We need Mo people to play it.
Mo people, mo problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mo
Yeah.
laser.
Anyways, so end of round 2. We had similar themes to round 1. I had some faith in Daniel. Maybe that was a little bit of a bad misstep on my part, but we've got Brandon and Katie tied for first with 19 points. Mandy not close behind with 16 points, and Daniel with just a really sad 14 points. So
It's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. All right, we got plenty of time.
that's fair. We are only through 2 of the 5 questions, so there is plenty of time to continue to claw back that lead there. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to question 3 to give you that opportunity. So question 3: can monocolored decks be competitive? That's never something that anybody's actually considered, but is there a world? I'm not saying like win a DLC or win worlds or anything like crazy, but is there a world where you can bring a monocolored deck and have the chance to be competitive? With this one, on to question 3, Mandy, we get your lovely opinion first. So do we have the chance for monocolored decks to be viable?
Well, let me tell you a story. One
Okay.
time, I went to a set champs or a tournament, or I can't remember what it was. And this really great person sat across from me. I had hyper aggro. I was like, don't stand a chance. Well, he played mono steel,
I knew where you were going with that one. Yeah.
beat me into the ground relentlessly. And he's 10 years, 20 years younger than me. So I really had to look at myself that day and say, pride, take a back seat. You just got beat by a kid playing one color. So maybe you should go home.
Get good.
So yes, I think it can happen. Not often, but luck is 90% of the game. The other 10% is skill, I think.
I was wondering if you were going to be, very honest about your opponent that played that mono steel deck that you're talking about, and you did. So you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give you a point for that one too, because honesty goes a long way here.
The
And
best policy, Zach. I believe that with all of my heart.
shout out Damien.
Daniel's dumb. I don't know. I'm trying to get more.
I don't know. You get a point for that one too, for sure.
Living your policy, honesty,
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Katie, have you ever played a monocolored deck, or do you think they can be competitive?
I mean, I think as Mandy has spoken upon, the psychological damage of being against a monocolored deck could be an advantage, because when you're playing, your opponent's like, well, they're messing with me. They're waiting, they're doing that thing, or like they only ink, and like you're freaking out so much that you're like, when is it going to happen? So could it win? Yeah, because all it takes is your opponent being like, I don't know what you're doing, and then it's over. Now, what color is good? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. That's why we have Mo Shamblins. That's why we have Zach Bivens. You guys figure it out, get back to us, and then we'll let you know. But I think it can work, but it's not gonna be fun. And you just have to hope that your opponent is just on a tilt table and you just like send them.
Yeah, fair. Brandon, what are your thoughts? Can we have a pretty competitive monocolor deck?
I really appreciate my opponents being honest. And with Mandy, I have to agree that honesty is the best policy. And for that reason, I'm just going to go ahead and say you're all dumb if you think a single ink color deck can be competitive. Are you kidding me? We have the option to play 2 ink colors and we're going to stick to one. God, I have all these locations in play. It'd be awesome if I could play a card that like wiped the opponent's board or something, but too bad I didn't put Ruby in my deck. What are you talking about?
You played all Ruby. Oops, all Ruby.
We're playing 2 colors, people. We're given the freedom. Let's do it. Why aren't we?
That's a good rant.
Brandon.
It is.
Do whatever you want.
That's a good rant.
He doesn't have the courage to try.
I'm just saying, if I have the option to play good cards in 2 colors, I'm not limiting myself on purpose here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been personally victimized by mono steel, okay? It happened to me.
Mandy, look, I don't know how to tell you this.
You better
Get
watch
good.
It happens to Americans every day, okay? And they don't recover. You don't come back from that mentally.
So I stopped playing Lorcana.
Yeah, she said never again after that.
Oh, okay. That's a very solid A+ rant for sure. So, unfortunately, we have to go to Daniel now and get his answer. But,
Daniel. Right. This is a double or nothing question. Here it comes. Brandon, I really like the rage. That was actually like really, really strong argument, and I appreciate that. Have you ever played Blurple and not drawn the Sapphire portion of the deck? Because that is effectively playing a mono Amethyst deck, and I've done it plenty of times, and I'm wondering, why did I play Amethyst or Sapphire in this deck when I'm not ramping? It's all purple, and it doesn't matter, and it's not good. And so my answer is that no, a mono color deck cannot be competitive, because I have tried it unintentionally when I didn't draw the Sapphire cards, and I just played Amethyst, and it was really rough, and I lost games to people playing decks that were not as good as the deck I was playing, but I didn't have the other color in my hand, and I couldn't draw it despite all of the draw that Amethyst has. So it was very, very frustrating.
Tale. I thought you were going to turn it around and you're like, and I didn't need it, and I won the whole DLC, but no.
The only Lorcana tournament that I started off 0-2, and I was very upset with my deck choice, because I was basically playing a mono colored deck in a tournament unintentionally. I was hard mulliganing for some ramp, couldn't hit it, and so it was pretty painful. I had plenty of bounce stuff, and it was cool. I just didn't have any ink to do it because I didn't ramp. So yeah, I'm gonna go with no, and I have a lot of PTSD over that. So thank you for bringing this answer or this question to us.
Okay, I'm actually gonna just pose this very fast second part of the question. If we think a Mo Shamblin or Zach Bivens were to bring a monocolored deck, could they have success? Again, to Brandon's point, like, why would they ever do that? That's a really dumb thing to do. But is there a world where one of those guys that does know what they're doing better than all of us could technically win with it?
I mean, win, maybe not, but have fun. Like, could you imagine like Mo on an all green deck where it's just like I call it the whoopee cushion deck, but that's like double the whoopee cushion. So it's just weird stuff. It is just annoying the entire game. And is he going to win? Probably not. But your opponent's going to be like, I am very tired of your antics. So maybe he wins through attrition. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think amber could be a good color. Mo could probably make mono amber work.
I mean, if somebody was
40
something
Dalmatian puppies.
Yeah, just puppies.
Cindy, Daisy. I mean, game's over.
What are you singing with Cindy though? There's like you're just gonna. Oh, I guess you sing World's Greatest Criminal Mind on 2, and then you're good. You're on.
I don't see a problem with that. It sounds pretty.
It's just there to scare your opponent. They think they know what's coming.
Yeah, the whole time they're like, "What are you gonna do?" And the answer is nothing. The whole game. And
Man, I hope they don't have any steel cards in hand, and you're just giggling to yourself because you're like, "There's none in my deck."
They don't even know that they're gonna win.
I will say, Katie, your answer when you were talking about like it's kind of like a psychological game, and that happened to me in Chicago at the DLC. I was playing somebody, and they were on Ruby Amethyst, but like would never show the Ruby portion of their deck, and so they were just inking and playing purple cards for like 4 turns. And I'm like, I don't know which Amethyst deck you're on, and it's really bothering me because I don't know if I should go wide and commit to the board, or if I should like be careful about be prepared coming up at some point in the near future. And so that's a very valid point.
Psychological games.
I didn't want to interrupt.
That's a great point, Daniel, that you gave for Katie. And so points for Katie there. Thank you for that one.
Well, but points for him being so. I feel like he was so vulnerable. Like
What happened about being honest?
Yeah, he was so raw and so vulnerable in such a.
Is that last question?
Space.
You were honest that Katie gave a great answer.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw you in the wave pool.
Don't worry, Daniel. I gave you.
I don't know how to swim, so that's.
I gave you a lot of laugh points for the world's greatest criminal mind callback on that. So we actually have a pretty tight race now. So, so going into the next round, we've got Brandon with 29 points in second place. We've got Daniel with 26 points, who actually is in respectable last place now, but he closed the gap a lot. And then Mandy with 27 points. And Katie with 30 points in first place. So we've got two rounds left.
Did you just do second, fourth, third, and first?
Are you questioning? I just went around the
Mandy,
order.
Mandy, watch out. Mandy,
I just went around the order here.
Are you doubting the point giver, Mandy?
Do not
Are you
doubt that
questioning
man.
what he's doing here?
The poor audio listeners who have no idea like what order you're going in whatsoever.
That's a fair point. Touche.
I've seen people lose points, Mandy. You gotta stay safe.
You should have seen Cody losing points in the last episode because
I'm just saying, Zach, I trust your direction. I trust that you know what you're doing here.
Boo.
Appreciate that. -1, Daniel. See, give it and take it. Don't be booing.
Boot out of your mouth. I
can't change your.
No one can hear you.
I wish he had a name under him because we could change it to Lyle and just be taking points away from him.
Oh, okay. That's actually really solid. I'll give you some points for that one. That's a really solid one. Okay.
There we go. Knowledge and wisdom. 2 points back. Boom.
Moving on to round number 4. Here we go. So question, should Disney Lorcana have cards focusing on their original characters? So again, if you think about the story behind the game, there are characters that they've introduced that are not Disney specific characters from the properties. Should we see in the future some of those characters get cards like we've seen with some of the coils and the spheres and the chromicons and things like that aren't from any Disney property? So with this one, we get to go to Katie first. So Katie, take it away.
I'm stressed out because you're gonna get a rant and you don't deserve it. But okay, so Disney is a storytelling company. So okay, Ravensburger, Disney, if you're listening, peace and love you. But okay, you go to Animal Kingdom and there's this area and you're in a parking lot and it's a roadside attraction because it's a thing set up to. And what I'm saying here is they overthink everything because you're like, oh, it's just dinosaur rides. No, it's a dinosaur next to a dig site and they made a roadside thing to sell keychains. So then you have Lorcana that's clearly based on something, and they're like, we'll just kind of give you a little bit of the story here and there. We'll give you a couple story trailers. We have animators. We're not going to really use them for this though, and we can tell some of the greatest stories that have ever been told on Earth. In fact, we could maybe put it in a booklet. We could make comic books. We could make a Disney Plus show. We could just have a theater. We could have some kids acted out in the park. But for some reason, they're just let's just go light on the story here, guys. And Arcasia's Island, I was ravenously reading 20 tokens because I was just look at the story. And I don't want to say they've done a good world building, but I want to get in there. Get me in there. I want to know. Get me in there. So I think we should see, Shanzay and Arcasia. Why didn't she get a card? She's out here being an ancient owl lady person or a lady in an owl costume. It's very unclear what, and you know why it's unclear? Because the story, I had to read a bunch of tokens and try to figure it out. So anyway, I'll stop talking now.
No, that's great.
It's a
Brandon,
lot. It's a lot for me.
What are your thoughts? Should we get some more lore?
I definitely think we should get some more lore. But I don't fault everybody on this call for not fully understanding how things work in the Disney Lorcana, space. If people like myself that have been around since the very beginning, since the first chapter, we understand that all of the cards that we're playing are glimmers, right? We are the Illumineers. We're the Illumineers that are casting these glimmers with ink. That's what we're using these cards for. It's very clear in the story. You know, Shanze, Martin, all these people, you know, they're like other players essentially. It doesn't make sense for us to play them. We're not creating them out of ink. We're not summoning them out of ink. Poor Martin almost drowned in ink, you know, like caused the whole flood. Like, come on, give him a little bit of a break. I think to keep things thematic, we should just keep glimmers to the cards. And then, hey, I will say this, props to Katie. Let's get comic books. Let's get some Disney Plus series of Disney Lorcana. Use those animators. How awesome would that be? Give me more stuff in the parks. It's just the like Disney Lorcana world. I love doing that. But I personally don't think it makes sense for the Illumineers to be cards, because all the cards are glimmers. We're supposed to be summoning them with ink. It just doesn't make thematic sense.
I was so scared you're being like, I just get it, and Katie doesn't. And I was like, okay, geez. You're like, I've been reading the flavor text. I only read the flavor text. I don't know what these cards do. So I feel better. I was like, okay, now I agree with you now. But I was scared.
Okay, Daniel, that's a really tough act to follow. So
yeah, I mean, I don't even know that I'm going to follow it, honestly. I don't know that I have a strong opinion on whether or not Disney Lorcana should include their characters and cards. I do think we should have some different parts and rides and locations as cards, and that element of the game would be very fun because I can physically see and interact with those things. And to Katie's point, they've made shorts about some of these things before so that we can actually know the lore of all of these different rides and like locations and parks. But I don't necessarily know that I have a strong opinion one way or the other on like the Lorcana characters.
Okay, Mandy.
He said you convince him. You got to convince him.
That's not, unfortunately for him, that's not my job. That's his job. So he's the one that's got to deal with the repercussions.
I'm not going to try to follow that. Brandon had a good answer. Katie had a good answer. I'm indifferent. Okay. Well, I'm being honest again. I don't know if that matters in this round, like it mattered the 2 rounds ago, but here we are, just being honest and transparent. I'm not going to fake it till you make it. Okay. Just not going to make it. Okay.
All right, Mandy.
Okay,
What are your thoughts?
So first of all, I just want to say, who's Shanze? Who's that? Who's Martin? There's lore?
Is this rhetorical, or do you want us to?
Points for humor there for sure.
Yeah.
Please don't ask me more questions, Mandy. I don't have good answers for the ones that's asking.
Please make a Disney Plus show so I know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were guys.
I think that all encompasses.
Just guys being dudes.
Yeah, I think that all encompasses like all of the answers. I mean, to Katie's point, I think we need a show. I think.
Yeah,
That wasn't the question, though.
Katie did it. No,
I mean, that's fair, but that's
The
why
question
you got the
is,
most
should they be
points.
cards?
So the answer is no, because nobody knows that was an option. I guess. Like, who? That's a valid answer.
if I knew if there was a card that said Martin whatever, then I'd be like, oh, there's a guy. Then
Only
no, but I
Yeah.
Somebody
don't know.
doesn't know the lore. I'm just saying.
That's
you
the
gotta be
problem.
reading that flavor text, guys.
You do.
gotta.
We got the flavor text. We've got the little booklets. We've got the Arcasia's flip book. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, I wear glasses for a reason. I'm 100 years old. Do you think I can read text that small? No.
I'm 85 years old, Mandy. I also wear glasses. Okay, we're all on this call with glasses. That's not an excuse for me. I'm sorry. You got to do better than that. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry. How old are you?
I'm 85, according to other people.
Wait, did you
in
go
the-
down 2 years? I thought
Other
you said you were
people.
87 a few seconds ago.
No, I was 85. Maybe I said
Okay.
87. I don't
Okay,
know.
I was like, you said you call the
All right,
Magic Society.
Daniel, you did raise your hand there. I'm a little curious. We're not in a classroom, but I'll give you the floor.
No, I was contributing. I don't know who these people are, so
Oh, okay.
it's fine.
Well,
Me.
I do like that you raise your hand and say, I'd like to say I don't know. You know?
yeah, participation point maybe. Okay,
I'm like
no.
90% sure on certain cards there is flavor text with these people's names on them.
Okay, to the point of flavor text though, like there's a lot of text and things to memorize. Exactly, Mandy. Like there's so many things to
Memorize?
read on a
Yeah,
card.
you know what? We're TCG players. Why do we even read the cards? You
Yeah.
know? Like
just
who needs to do
throw
that?
random cards in the deck, you know?
feel
put
the
it on the
vibe.
table, tell your opponent what it does, and just hope they believe you. You know.
I for the longest time thought like Merlin Trap was just like giving strength +3. I didn't realize it was like Challenger, and so I was like going through my whole turn like trying to manipulate like my opponent's like character's strength intentionally, and then I was like, cool, I'll give that challenger +3, and then I will banish it with whatever card. And they're like, yeah, that's not how that works. And I was like, oh, yep, we're done. So reading, I like audio. That's why we have listeners. Just people like listening to the
audio.
They like
TCG.
listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to scan a card. I want to hear Katie's voice saying, "It's Martin. He almost drowned one time."
Yeah,
Who's he?
he played a guitar and almost drowned. I don't know what he's up to, but he's really fumbling it.
Do you know how well informed I would be if I had that kind of access? So good.
That's fair.
Instead, Disney wants
Zach,
me to
I'm
be-
convinced. I'm very convinced that my answers are so captivating that you just forget to hit the plus points when I'm talking, and that is what's happening here.
Okay.
Earlier, he was giving Mandy points.
I did. You
while
know what?
you were
I realized
talking.
that. I realized that, and I did back it up. I realized that. I was like, "Why is Daniel not getting any points?" So you might be short a few points. I'll give you points because just to show that I can give points, and your answers aren't that captivating, and that's not the problem. There was a little bit of a hiccups. We're still in the early stages of the game show life here, but we're figuring it out. So.
I just like Mandy's passive gain over there. She's like, listen,
Yeah.
I gain a point just for being here. And,
He's like, honesty is the best policy, but I'm not telling you about this. We're just gonna let it
That's
happen.
true. That's true. That's true. You know what?
Hey, Queen's Castle, okay?
We'll
I get
get-
2 points. Every
We'll just
new
give
round.
everybody. Look, we just gave everybody a few points here. We'll just throw out points all the way around just to make it
we're all special.
a little more fun here. But okay, going into the last round, we've got one more question to go. And
Should we take a break
Brandon-
before the last round, Zach?
Like take a lunch or like
We'll be
I
back
almost-
after this.
I almost
sponsor.
did it after the last one, and I was like, you know what? We're just rolling with it. But we'll take a quick pause for a word from our sponsors.
I
And
don't
and
have
we're
any of those.
no,
Brought
we
to you
don't.
by
We don't.
Lortex.
And,
That's
and we're
called
back.
Read it.
manifesting. Yeah, manifest that sponsor.
We were sponsored by Martin Venturo and Shinzi, so they were putting it on because they're never going to get a card, and they just wanted to let everybody know that they do want to be on cards, and they're very unfortunate that they're stuck being the Illumineers and not Glimmers.
Yeah.
So did Brandon lose points if that's how you personally feel? Because I'm pretty sure that's how.
No, why would I lose points
Yeah,
here?
I think that's kind of how I understood it.
I really
know.
wish I had a button to give Zach minus points sometimes. It would just be really fun.
If there was a technology to do that, honestly, I'd be down. I mean, not that I want to win, but I just want to see how much I can get under the contestant's skin. Because if I
Like
end
a
up with
flip
negative
board.
points, that means
Science
I'm
hasn't
winning.
come that far.
And Mandy, we're for the listeners out there, we are streaming this internally to have a little backup copy. And Riley says Mandy gets points for blessing the presence with her stream, so points for Mandy.
That's
Which
powerful.
I given them to Katie. Oh my gosh, I'm so off my game now. I'm so flustered.
You can't take them back because I feel like a blessing too. And if you take them back,
Okay,
I'm like,
you're
oh,
right.
I guess I'm
You're
not
right.
a blessing.
I'll give it back.
Yeah,
I'll
this
give it
is
back
really
to you. So
complicated. I think we all are at 40 points now. It's very weird.
we're close.
Everyone
okay.
except Daniel.
Yes, we're moving on. So Brandon, okay, we're gonna go. So people don't have any like crazy things to say about the order here. In last place, we have Daniel with 37 points. In third place, we have Mandy with 40 points. And tied for first place, we have Brandon and Katie with 42 points. So it's still anybody's game. And what I mean by anybody's game, it's anybody but Daniel's game, I think, at this point. So,
What if we all are stunned by his answer and we're like, I have nothing to say?
well, you know what? We'll let him go first this round so that he has that
Yeah.
opportunity. And if that happens, then we'll just mic drop it and he can win. So
It has become very evident that I could tell Zach that I'm giving him $1 million, and he would still press the points for somebody else besides me. So
I mean, maybe that's been the issue this whole time. It has just been
I'm
my
just
fault.
expecting
Okay.
towards the end of the round,
I'm
we
looking-
like Mario Party it, and Bowser just hands out like a bunch of extra stars. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yes.
Daniel's gonna get
Yes.
extra points
You
for being in
definitely get a
last
point
place.
for that because I love Mario Party too. So that's definitely a point. And I gave Daniel a point just to prove that I can hit his button correctly. But with that said, let's move on to question number 5. So question number 5, the last question here we've got this go round. Is Lorcana better off not adding chance mechanics to the game like dice rolls and coin flips? So, in other TCGs, there are, obviously there's dice rolls to start the game, but once you are in the game, there's none of those mechanics. And so they just do exist in other TCGs. And so would that be something that Disney Lorcana would benefit from or would not benefit from? Daniel, kick us off. Let's see if you've just got the hottest take ever.
Yeah, personally, I prefer that they not add too much and be very careful about how they do it. But they already have added chance mechanics into the game with We Don't Talk About Bruno. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but that is technically a random effect. And if you notice, like when people play that card, which might be me sometimes, everyone has a very different way of like randomizing. And some I think are truly like random, some aren't. And some, like if you want to take my example, I usually just like roll a dice and then pick a card based off of the number that happens to appear on the top of the die. But that doesn't work unless I have like a 20-sided die and they have more than 6 cards in hand because I can't roll a 6-sided die. So chance mechanics are cool, compelling. They add an element of unpredictability to the game, but I feel like can also be very frustrating as the player because you can't always do what you want to do. And part of the game is like trying to have fun, and part of having fun is like doing what you want to do. And so if you play a card and it fizzles and nothing happens, that doesn't feel very good. So I would vote no for more chance mechanics.
Okay.
And I don't think I got any points for that. So that was cool. Thank you.
You got 6
like
points.
Yeah.
You got 6 points. I'm more than happy to take some of those away if you don't actually want to get any points. But
I'm tied with everyone else now. This is great.
Here, you know what? Here, let's go ahead and give you a couple pity points because I know it won't matter at the end of the day. Brandon is definitely going to get more
random
than 2.
points. Did you flip a coin to decide how many to give to me? Was it a roll of the dice?
Okay, I'll give you one. Honestly, that was a good take. I'll give you one more for that one. So you do have a little bit of a cushion, but not much. Okay, we'll just stay in the normal order we've been going in. And so Mandy, you get to go next. Mandy, what are your thoughts here? Should we be adding in more chance mechanics?
No.
Passion.
Yeah, fair.
It already sucks. 2-game format's the worst. You want to add more stuff on top of that? No. I don't think that's a smart. You want more people to get on out? Go on get. That's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Touche. I mean, sometimes you just need a short and sweet answer, and that's all it takes. And I appreciate that.
That's what I was doing. No. It's the Sabrina Carpenter of answers. Short and sweet.
Okay. Katie, what are your thoughts here? Should we be adding in more chance mechanics to the game?
Now, as Lady Gaga once said, a little gambling is fun when you're with me. Daniel, you're crazy. If you think gambling's not fun, what are you talking about? Like when you open a pack, you're already doing chance stuff.
That's fair.
How dare you insinuate that I won't want it? Have you ever hit a whole new world off of a Mulan? Do you know
Nope.
what that's like? You pass out. The stars, you're like dying. Like Oswald, Mufasa, Mulan, reflecting, you are the lows are low. The lows, you're crying at a TCG store and it's embarrassing. But the highs, you're talking about them to your friends, you're freaking out. So yeah, there's so many options too. Think about audience. If you had a Donald Duck and you roll the dice, and if it's Kingdom Hearts, by the way. Kingdom Hearts is in the franchise now. Can you believe it? It's happening. And you roll it, and if it's odd, he heals you, and if it's even, he doesn't heal you. How fun is that? It's flavorful. And you know what? You're like, oh, well, I want the card to do. You put it in your deck. So you already consented to the magic of gambling. So I don't understand. Like, you're acting like someone's going to make you be like, put this in your deck right now. I consented to this, and I want the highs, and I crave it. So anyway, Brandon, what do you guys?
No, that's a solid take.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're acting like someone
Quote
made
Katie
you.
on the magic of gambling.
Oh my God, let's go.
Listen, look, we're all TCG players at heart, okay? You can't tell me that like the best feeling in the world is opening a booster pack and slowly just like flipping to that last card, hoping that you see something shiny in the back, right? You get the dopamine hit of when you find like the enchanted Tamatoa sitting there in the back, and then that just makes you want more. Like, we are definitely all gamblers at heart. And so like let me just set a stage, all right? Let's say it is the World Finals, okay? Mo Shamblin versus Zach Bivens. 19 lore to 19 lore, okay? Mo has the go-go in hand. Zach is sitting with some characters on board, and Zach has a card. Let's say it's an Amethyst card that he plays it, and it's like, play this card, roll a dice. If it's heads, you win the game. If it's tails,
I like that card. I'm playing that turn one.
It's all come down to this moment, okay?
Does it have to be amethyst?
I don't know. Just hear me out.
Just
okay?
stay in the
Okay.
How excited, how glued to the screen would you be when Zach plays this card? Mo puts his hands on his head and he's like, oh no, he played the card. And then we see Zach, it's like it's all happening in slow motion. He takes the dice, he's like rolling it, throws it on the table. The dice falls off the table. You're like, oh my God, we have to roll again. he shuffles it around, throws it, and then it's heads. Zach wins, takes it from Mo or whatever. Like, how exciting and crazy would that be? Of a world. Okay.
Oh, he lost the point.
Wait.
Let's just be very clear here. We love Zach Bivens a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
But
Brandon,
come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Read the room. Read the room.
Scenario
Okay,
here.
look, I'm
He's
sorry.
beating Mo?
I have something. Okay. There's a game that I want to play to illustrate this point. Okay. With anybody that feels like, actually, you know what? I want to give Daniel an opportunity to play this game with me. Okay. We're going to talk about how great gambling is here. I have a Sisu and a Hiram. I'm going to shuffle both of these cards. And if Daniel chooses Hiram out of the ones that I present, I'm going to present them like this. If he chooses Hiram, I will forfeit all of my points to Daniel. But if he doesn't, then he has to give all of his points to me. All right?
I don't even know if I want to allow this here. But
I wouldn't play that one. This is a real situation though, because I have played We Don't Talk About Bruno and bounced one of these two cards to the hand, and the other one was the other card. So I've lived this scenario before.
Like,
can I rewind real quick before we pick a card? And I don't care what you do with the point set. Did you roll a dice and then land on heads? Because I've never heard that before.
I don't know.
Very
I was in the moment. I was too excited about the story. I was
just high on gambling. That's how cool gambling is, guys. When you think about gambling, you're like, I don't even know where I am right now.
At first, I was like, I don't know if we should allow this this path to be the chosen winner. But then I thought in my head, like, as of now, Katie's the winner, and she's the one that said the whole time, like, let's roll the dice, let's gamble this away. And so
that's what I'm saying.
To me, it feels like she should be the one that's like rooting for this gambling.
Yeah. Yes, that was my point. It's yes, gamble. Yes. Wait. No, I have to gamble my points. You're saying no.
No, I'm saying that you've been.
I'll let anyone
for
gamble their points against me,
and
I don't care. I was giving it to Daniel because he's been in last place. I was gonna try to help a guy out.
Yeah,
I'm right where I need to be. Okay, there's still plenty of time.
I don't think there is. I think we're wrapping it up here, and Brandon's about to gamble the win or the loss for him or somebody else. So
that's true. It is. That's fun, but you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. That's a song. I don't know.
I'm a fan of that one as well. So
Yeah. So
how much does that song cost?
Just
what color?
It's uninkable because it's good. And I don't know. I'm out. I gamble. Let's do it. But yeah, I can't stop. I'm so thinking about it. I'm gonna go buy some packs.
Okay, well, nobody took Brandon up on the gambling, and so
no, that's too scary. Well, you don't. If you're ahead, you're not going to be
I'm giving people the opportunity to take it away.
And Daniel's too nice, I guess, to take.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Daniel could have. You should have.
Yeah, I don't know why Daniel wouldn't have wanted to, but
I'll pick.
I don't want to lose these 46 hard-earned points.
That's true.
He's setting
him up for his kids.
You've got to find the Hiram. If you don't find the Hiram, points are lost.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to back up this here. You have to add in a third card because this is like throwing Katie under the bus here, and so we have to add in a third card where if
Okay.
like where one of the cards is for Katie, one of the cards is for Mandy, and one of the cards is for you, because that's ultimately what we came down to at this point.
Okay.
So,
This is like left, right, center.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
Okay.
going to bet that either me or Daniel will win by the fact that I made it where Mandy and Katie cannot win.
yeah,
I'm like,
I mean,
wait
it's
a
like,
minute, this
we,
game-
like Katie we
game
did all
super
this hard
sucks.
work this entire
Okay,
episode,
okay,
and she's
okay,
getting
okay.
thrown
game
out.
sucks.
Okay. We've got a Hiram, a Sisu, and a one jump.
Why are these sleeved?
I was
I
gonna
don't
say, like,
know.
where's
I
the
haven't
one? Like,
unsleeved them.
where's the one jump coming from? Like, Hiram, like,
Well,
probably should be
It was a
burned now.
Japanese
But
card. I don't know, dude. I have cards all over my desk.
that's
what do
fair.
you want
I
from
mean,
me?
they're
I don't
all
know.
behind me too. But okay, this
Okay.
I mean, we make our own rules as we go here. We're trying to figure this out, and so
I'm
we're
going to
ending.
consent to this, but we're going.
I think you kind of did. You were the one that was
Well,
advocating.
You argued the one for gambling. I'm just saying.
I said that you have to consent to it. You have to put it in your deck. I did not. put this
Oh,
in
you
my
know
deck.
what? Honestly, she did. That is true. That is true.
But either way, I like it. I like it. Let's roll the dice. Everybody knows like I won, but if I lose this way, then people are like, listen, it was stolen. So I think this is a good. This is good. Either way, I come
that's
out. Pretty ahead
actually
here.
that is fair. That's good. That's good content for sure. So
All
okay,
right, all right. So we're
I
gambling, and
consent.
Daniel, you got this probably.
Wait,
Okay, so-
I'm pitching. I thought Mandy was.
No,
Mandy was
so
going.
here I'm gonna do it here. So since Daniel's out of it and he absolutely loses for sure, he doesn't get the option to win from this. And so
Well, no, that's the whole point of gambling.
That's
is that,
the
like,
point. Is he
yeah.
gets to come back?
No,
Like,
I
he can-
cashed out.
no,
I'm
he-
cashing
he's
out.
done. It's between you three now. And so one card represents Brandon, one card represents Mandy, one card represents Katie, and Daniel
Wow.
picks 1, 2, or 3, and whoever he picks is the winner. So we're gambling everything here.
Who?
I'm gonna get my magic 8-ball to figure out
I don't know.
which card to pitch.
What do you mean? You have
Okay.
to determine that beforehand because
Brandon
you
is
can't be like,
Brandon is Sisu. Mandy
great.
is Hiram, and Katie is one
okay,
jump.
you know what?
Mandy's banned.
You're banned. So that's kind of
Yeah, you're banned from winning. Okay.
All right. So if you ever play a card game and people are holding up their cards and you're pitching randomly, they usually try to hide the card they don't want you to pitch, like
Oh.
closest to like the inner, so that you can't see it as much. So that's usually the one I'm going for. Is that's usually the good one. So let's go all the way on your. I guess it's your that's your right because you're flipped. I think.
This
Yeah,
card?
all over there. Yep.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
the
who
one.
Brandon doesn't want
All right.
to win.
So this is the card.
That's the
Oh, no.
card.
Remind everybody whose
Brandon
cards
is
are whose.
Sisu, Mandy is Hiram, and Katie is one jump.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Wait, hold
See
on,
how
hold on.
exciting that was? Like,
Can you
you
show-
can't tell me. You can't tell me.
He very quickly put them all back down on the desk, and we did not get to
There was
see
a
like, the
glitch.
other two
You guys
cards.
I shuffled. Look,
For
they
audio
were all
listeners,
here.
there
They
was
were all
like
here.
there's a little glitch, and then
That
like,
was
somehow he's
really,
like,
really
"Oh."
funny. That was definitely.
All right,
It could have been three Sisus.
content.
It could have been three
Alright,
Sisus. We
okay.
can't see
Look.
where the other cards went.
Honesty is the best policy, so I'm going to be totally honest here. I had these two one jump aheads. I was just going to switch out the Hiram and Sisu with one jump ahead and be like, got you. I'm ahead of the game. I'm not giving you my points. And then just try to steal the win and be like, of course we shouldn't gamble. But it ended up in my favor anyway.
All right. So the lesson is you gotta gamble. And I think that's a good lesson to teach in any scenario, right? I think that's really healthy and smart.
Don't gamble
Brandon?
outside of TCG's, people.
Yeah, now we'd have to do what's the local gambling line? If you can't stop making people pick between you one jump ahead and Hiram, please call.
Okay, well that's the show, everybody. And so I don't think I said this when we started, but the way we sign off is we get to go to the mic drop moment, and Brandon has a minute where it's just him, and he gets to basically say whatever he wants. He can just say off the wall crazy stuff. It doesn't have to be about Lorcana. It can be literally anything. And so this is Brandon's moment. And so Brandon, give us your mic drop moment and take it away.
Look, y'all, I appreciate everybody inviting me to the show to do this with all these wonderful guests. I'm so sorry for just having to be better than everybody else, especially when it purely comes to chance. Shout out to Daniel. I was trying to help you out, dude, but you just helped me win, there at the very end. I appreciate it, man. And if I ever get a chance to come back, I'll just do it again because, it's just that easy. So that's all I have to say.